Okay, in this section, we're going to talk about command line tools. I'm really talking about a single tool, which is Claude Code from Anthropic. Now, Claude Code is a command line tool. It's a CLI. And what a CLI means is that it runs in the terminal. So it runs at the command line. And being a command line tool right there makes it powerful, because one of the things you can do at the command line is you can spawn off other processes and you can shell out, which means I guess you're spawning off other processes because you're already in the shell. Now, it means that it can do things in parallel. So it is running at the command line. It's got access to the large language models. It can access your file system. So it's a combination of an agent and an LLM, and it's got file system access. So even though it's running at your command line, it can handle multi-file projects. Because it is running in the background, it can do multiple things at the same time, and it works with IDEs such as Cursor. So you can actually use this tool inside of Cursor or Windsurf or VS Code even. Now, this was new in May of 2025, so I do have a lot of what I'm doing is very new. I've only been using it for about a week at this point, and so we're going to talk about it, but it's an amazing tool so far. Now, the pros of this is that it works at the command line, and it can supports AI-assisted IDEs, which means you can do it inside a Cursor. So I open up a terminal in Cursor, I can have things going on, I can have my LLM and Cursor off doing something, and I can be working in Claude Code. Now, another thing that it does really well is it sees the big picture and it can do project planning. So unlike any of the other development tools, you can say, I want to create an Angular project and I want it to do this and I want it to have this functionality. Write me a plan. So it will actually go out and create a project plan for you of all the modules that need to be created, which is amazing. And then it can actually run in the agents in the background, and it can go off and execute the plan. So it's something that you can create a plan, then you can execute the plan, and it includes agents that code in the background. So you can actually have it multi-processing on your machine. Now, and then it's not taking a lot of CPU and memory while it does that, because for the most part, it's off on the cloud, doing most of the work on the cloud. Now, you are going to burn up a lot of tokens, and that's where it gets to the cons. The cons of these are the cost. And it requires the best models, and it uses the most tokens. Another con, and this is really the only other con that I found up until this point, is that it can be hard to follow because it is doing things in a multitasking environment. So it is off doing 15 things at the same time. It's writing to the file system, so it's creating files, it's editing files. It's not really doing it visually in the IDE because it's working in the command line, so it can be very, very hard to follow. But beyond that, I think this is going to be one of the biggest up-and-coming tools, and I think what we're going to see is it's going to get integrated really tightly into the tools like Cursor and Windsurf, and then it's just going to be crazy good.